Hey YouTube, this is Rick Steele Customs coming at you with a little something different today. Some of you may know, but some of you might not know. Besides working on cars, fixing them up, I'm also a real estate investor. I own several single-family homes, including this one right here. And I want to show you some of the pros and cons of being a landlord. I bought this house back in 2017. I paid $90,000 for it. It was a foreclosure. And the house had originally sold a few years before that for $260,000. So one of the reasons I got the house was because the house had actually sold about 6 times. It was in and out of escrow. And the reason it failed to sell is because at the time it had a T-lock roof system. T-lock shingles are no longer made. And every time they did a evaluation of the property, the bank always does its due diligence. They'll see if it's worth the amount of the loan or the amount that the seller is selling it for. And in this case, this house was bank owned. So it fell out of escrow about 6 times because of the roof. No bank wanted to loan money on a house that needed a new roof. This is literally the nicest house on the entire block. It's a corner house, which makes it extra nice. But anyway, getting back to this story. Okay, so the house at the time when I bought it, they had actually dropped the price down because it kept falling out of escrow. And at the time, they were asking $150,000 for this house. But I knew that it was not going to sell because it had to be sold for all cash because nobody could finance it. And nobody had $150,000 cash. I did. So anyway, I contacted the listing agent, and the listing agent informed me that the house was under contract. And because it was under contract, I couldn't do anything until after it fell back out of contract. So anyway, getting back to it, the house did fall out of contract. And when it did, I immediately called my realtor and told him I want to make an offer on the house. So I had him meet me here. Yep, so he came over and we were talking about the house and what he thought would be a good offer. He told me a good offer would be, well, they're asking $150, so I think a good offer would be $130. So I told him, I said, you know what, man? I want to put an offer at $80,000 cash. And he goes, okay, I can do that, but you'll have to leave me $500 earnest money, and how do you plan on financing the house? And he explained to me the house had been thrown out of escrow 6 times because of the roof. I told him I'd be paying cash for the house, so I didn't require financing. So anyhow, he said, okay, I'm going to need some proof that you had that money. So I just so happened to have had my bank deposit. I think I withdrew $20 that morning. So I pulled it out, showed it to him, and it showed that I had $398,000 sitting in my checking account. And he goes, yeah, that'll do it. So I told him, okay, we'll make the offer $80,000 cash. And I can close right now, tomorrow. Whenever they want to close, I can close. So he submitted the offer. They came back, believe it or not, they came all the way down from $150,000 to $100,000. So I told him, I said, you know what? offer him $90,000. So he submitted the offer for 90 grand, came back to me a few days later, says, they accepted your offer. So I wrote him a personal check for $90,000, gave it to him. It may have been a cashier's check, I don't remember, it's back in 2017. So I closed on this house about 3 weeks later. And I then started doing a bunch of work to it. This was a sliding door originally. I converted it to French doors. I did all the work myself. So I did the doors. That was like $500 for the doors. But I'll go back inside and we'll discuss more of the things that I did to it, more of the improvements. But you can see right here, this is water damage. It's runoff from the roof's swamp cooler. The swamp cooler, you can see where it's rusted right here. These tenants, and this is the same thing pretty much with every single tenant that I have. The water runs off they don't care about your property. So they let the water run off the roof, the water hits the ground, bounces back up onto the stucco, softens it up, ruins it, and this is the result of them allowing the water to run off the roof without, and I see, here's another thing. Okay, look, if you're going to be a real estate investor, you're going to definitely want to have a property management company managing all your properties. I do. I give them, since I have so many houses with them, they give me a discount. Normally they charge about 10% of the rental price, the rental income. So every time they get the rental check, they take that check and then they keep 10% for themselves. But since I have so many properties, they gave me a discount of 8% is what they charge. So anyway, it's definitely worth it because they don't call you in the middle of the night, hey, the plumbing's leaking. They call property manager. Anything there's an issue, they call the property manager. I have an escrow account set up with the property management company where they have $300, so they don't have to call me unless whatever repair is necessary for the property, they take it out of the escrow account. Okay, this is how tenants treat your property. See this door? There was nothing wrong with this door when they moved in, and now you can see, I guess they were fond of the television show T.J. Hooker, Starsky and Hutch. But this is what the result is. You can see the hinges completely ripped. And it's pretty much the same thing with every single door in the house. There's supposed to be a pin up here, a dowel to keep it centered. And let's see, this room, same thing. They ripped down the doors for the closet. And then they failed to notify property management that the shower, which is right on the other side of this wall, was leaking. And when the water leaked in the shower, it needed to be regrouted. The water got past the grout, came in here, soaked the floor, ruined the floor. So I have to replace that now. And here's the bathroom where the shower was leaking. They allowed mold to grow on the ceiling. That was a brand new vent when they moved in. It had a nice shade cover for it. I have no idea what they did with the shade cover, but they destroyed it. I completely did the tile on the floor in here, all travertine. So the bad thing about this bathroom is it had no window, so I'm currently installing a skylight. The cool thing is the skylight installation was free. And the reason it was free is because they did the same thing with the swamp cooler on this side of the house. This house has 2 swamp coolers, or had 2 swamp coolers. They allowed this swamp cooler to overflow, and continuously run for the entire summer without even notifying property management. And it ruined a brand new roof. I bought the house, like I said, I bought this house in 2011. These were the first tenants to move into this house. So the roof was replaced in 2016 or 17. I think it was 2017 that I replaced the roof, brand new roof. The roof looked, you wouldn't believe it, there was moss growing on it, black moss growing on it. And over the 3 months, it allowed the sheetrock, the plywood between the ceiling joists to sag. So I told them they needed to pay for that section of roof. Fortunately for me, they did. So that was cool. They paid $3,000 to put a new section of roof right here. Okay, so that microwave was brand new. The stove was brand new, or relatively new. They broke the handle off the microwave, and I'm not really concerned about this stuff because this stuff is something that's going to wear out anyway. Okay, the countertops, I put all brand new granite countertops, but and all new. This wood here, this is a 3/4 inch plywood. They just let the thing leak and didn't care about it. Didn't bother to wipe up the water coming out of the sink. It destroyed the plywood underneath in this section here, so I'll have to replace it. I'll cut it from probably right there and then replace that one little piece before I go ahead and retile it. Same thing over here. I'm gonna have to retile this now. I'm keeping the backsplash. I tiled the backsplash. So, okay, now let's get back to it. Oh, they did not have permission to do any paint work. This house was completely painted. I painted it myself on the inside. I always do a professional job. It was a really nice two-tone. In fact, you can see the two-tone if you look at this wall right here. They had a huge entertainment center, basically from probably close to day one. I think it's called Toasted Oatmeal and something Sandcastle. They did not have permission to paint. They didn't bother to move their entertainment center, so they just went ahead and arbitrarily painted the bottom. I did not authorize that. So now I've got to repaint this whole living room. I'm not going to do up there again, so I am going to go back with the same paint. I no longer have a ladder that'll reach up that high. And somehow they put some kind of tape up there for whatever reason, I have no idea. Then they had little grandkids. Kids will be kids. But they threw those sticky things up there, so now I'm going to play hell trying to get those back down. Okay, now in this room, you can see all these spots on the floor. I have no idea what that is. To me, it looks like a wood stain. When I bought this house, this was actually a garage. I put in this window. I put in this closet. And this closet is for that room I was just in. So originally it was a 2-bedroom. I converted it to a 4-bedroom. I put the shelf, the closet rod, the outlet. I extended the duct for the swamp cooler. Let's go back over there and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I installed all new ceiling fans. These are, you can tell how outdated they are. 2011 is when they were installed. I had that lying around in my storage shed, so I threw this up. All new ceiling fans in the whole house, every bedroom, in the kitchen. The room didn't have any kind of air conditioning. It does have this duct, but this duct is so long going to that swamp cooler, and that swamp cooler is no longer even there. I removed it because I'm going to install split units. I bought bought 3 of them for this house. So I installed this. This is a window unit that I installed through the wall. And how I did it was pretty simple. It has a metal shroud. I put the shroud in. I measured the circumference of the hole. I cut the hole. I put the shroud through. I screwed the shroud to 2x4 studs. Then I inserted the unit and then reattached the screws. And I ran an outlet. I think it came off of this one. Or maybe it was that one. So I've got a lot of paint work. But the cool thing is, these people lived in this house since 2011. They moved out in January 2024. I have 2 more air conditioners that are going to go in those back bedrooms. So again, this is the flooring for the garage. There was no door here. So I had to cut the opening in the wall to fit the door. This door that you're looking at was brand new when they moved in. And you can see how disgusting it is. You can see how it's broken here. And I confronted them before they moved out. I said, "Hey, what happened there?" And the first thing they tell me, "Oh, that was there when we moved in." And I explained to them, "No, dude, you're the first people who live in this house. I installed that door. It was brand new. I didn't install a screwed up door." And then we come to this bathroom. Now you might be asking yourself, why is that tile different from that tile? And this tile different from that tile? Well, they had an autistic son. Now this was not a little boy. This was a man. He was probably pushing 40 years old, 30, I'd say maybe late 30s. So anyway, he came in here and he was, I guess, taking a shower and decided, it might be fun to kick holes in the tile. And that's what he did. Kicked holes right here. There was a huge hole right here. Now I felt, okay, here's another thing, guys. Learn from my mistakes. I felt sorry for this woman. I know because she was a single woman. I knew she didn't have a whole lot of money. So every time I would come over to do the inspection, the house door was always locked. Yeah, they screwed up that door too. So anyway, because of the autistic kid, she was getting money to take care of her own son. They did an inspection of the house, and no, it was not Section 8. I don't recommend doing anything with Section 8. If you've had different story, different luck with Section 8 tenants, put it in the comment section below. I'd like to hear about it. So anyway, they decided to do an inspection, and they came in here, and they told her, "Oh, well, you've got to have that fixed." So she finally, copped to it, showed it to me, and she told me they want $1,200 to fix the tile. Here's my mistake. She didn't have the money. I knew she didn't have the money, and I didn't want, the water, because they just had a piece of plastic covering the hole. I didn't want any more water going in there and screwing up the 2x4s, just blackening them up and rotting them out. So I made the mistake of volunteering to fix it for her. And I told her, I said, I'm not going to do it for free. I'll do it for $500. So she said, okay. And you guessed it. She gave me like $100 here, $100 there. It wound up taking about a year to get my $500. And then when I come to do the job, I came back to replace all these tiles here. So I came back to do it, and guess what? You guessed it. Their autistic son kicked a hole on this side. So I didn't even say shit. I just said, you know what? I'm just going to fix it. So I fixed it. Now, one of the things about this house that was definitely not done correctly, because back then this house was basically outside city limits. I don't think they even had building inspectors in this area for this job, because a lot of this stuff is totally under code. Like, for instance, they used regular drywall sheetrock for the back of the shower. Of course, when I did it, I used Durock cement board. And then here you can see this. If you know anything about construction work, look at this. This is where the sheetrock ended. It's not screwed to any 2x4, and they can't because they have a ventilation pipe for the sewer right there. It's ridiculous. And then you look at this. Look at this 2x4 here. See the way it's cockeyed on that stud? And they had to use a shim for the sheetrock. So I'm going to be doing this all correctly. I'm going to probably rip out this sheetrock to the next stud anyway. And then extend it from that stud. And I'll straighten this thing out. And I'll attach the sheetrock to that. And then cover it with the Durock and then tile it back up. I'm converting to bathtubs. No more showers. You know, if you're going to be a landlord, you don't want to have to wonder, oh, does the grout leak? Because the shower's not going to leak. It's not going to do that kind of damage. I also go with the deeper showers. I mean, tubs, rather. I bought these 2 tubs. I'm going to do both bathrooms, bathtub. And these are, of course, 60 by 30 by 16 and 5/8. So it's a nice deep tub. Also has the non-sliding, non-slip surface on it. Now I also did this tile work here. And you're probably wondering why. Okay, well, this house was pretty much like the rest of the houses in this neighborhood. Where I'm standing now was actually the front yard. Originally. Then they came along and then they added this addition, which is a huge addition. This house is actually 2,360 square feet. It's a big house. So anyway, what happened? Okay, originally this was the walkway going to the front of the house. This right here, this whole area. And you can see the cracks in this tile. And this was a second slab, the original slab. And it was square, went from right there to here, all the way across. So anyway, this is the new slab. And this slab, well actually these are 3 different slabs. This one right here, this one right here, and then this new section here. They all settled at different rates after the tile was installed. So of course, the settling fractured the tile from there all the way across here. So I thought, well, you know what, I can't find this tile any longer, so I'm going to have to do something right here, because this was actually much, much worse. So I chiseled it all up and made it look like, oh, this was done intentionally. And I put the travertine tile down, which I really like. I think it looks really good. What I'd like to do next is put a ventless gas fireplace, put it right here. I think that would look really good. I have one in my house. I've had it for many, many years, about 20 years. I had central heat. Got rid of that, and I installed a tankless water heater in its place and installed my gas fireplace, and it works great. So anyway, yeah, I had to buy a new microwave, which is right there. Oh. So if you guys are thinking about doing this, I mean, it's a great way to make money, and I'm not even complaining about these people, because 1, they paid the $3,000 to fix the roof. 2, they've been here since 2011. 3, I only paid $90,000 for this house, plus I put another 10 in it before renting it out to them. So I had 100 grand in it. And today it's worth about 490,000, 500, maybe even 540. You can see they did the same thing to this door. I mean, the door is destroyed. And I know what it was. It was that autistic kid. See, he kicked it open so hard, it must have put a hole in the sheetrock. Another thing I did is I put in these new double pane windows. It had single pane windows in it when I bought the house. But really, I'm not upset about it. I mean, yeah, of course it bothers me. I got to put money into it now, again, get it ready. Plus, they moved out in January. This is May, and I haven't even. I tell you, the first day I even started with this shit. I don't like doing this stuff. This is not my cup of tea. I'd rather work on cars. But just today, I ripped up the tile. Tile's gone. And I started on the bathroom, and I'm going to finish this demolition of the bathroom area so I can get out of here. That window's going to go. I bought 2 skinny windows, and I bought one for this bathroom shower and then one for that back bathroom shower. And you look at this ceiling. What do you notice? What's wrong with this picture besides the black mold? I'm not talking about the mold. What's wrong with this picture? Timestamp it. If you figure it out what's wrong with this picture, timestamp it. You'll see what I bought for this bathroom to fix this issue. One of the things I'm going to do, okay, you see that light? That light's never been changed. The bulb is gone. It's burnt out. I'm going to put a flat roof on it. Get rid of this. This is going to be attic space. Yeah, get rid of that window. I'm going to retile this whole thing, install the tub. This is a bit wider than 60 inches. I think it's like 63 inches wide. Look at that. That's the problem with showers. Why? I don't understand it. Why would people want a walk-in shower instead of a bathtub? I mean, if you don't have the room, okay, that's one thing. If you got half the space, that's one thing. Put a shower. But if you got the room for a tub, put the shower in the tub. I'm going to leave this room high. I mean, there's no reason for me to put the ceiling flat on the laundry room. But yeah, I'm not upset. I'm not upset about this. Just annoyed. That's the word. The other thing you guys want to do is definitely install those safety rails. I'm going to have 2 on each shower tub combo, because they'll slip and they'll sue you for their clumsiness. So anyway, the reason I'm just annoyed is because since they were here since 2011, I started renting the house out to them for, it was $1,200 a month. And that all goes into my pocket since I bought the house free and clear. I own it from day one, free and clear. I buy all my houses cash. I do not finance any of them. All that money goes directly into my bank account. I don't have to do anything. I've been retired since 25. I used to drive 18-wheelers over the road. I haven't had a paycheck since that job. 1994. That's the last year I worked. Last year I got a paycheck. I don't work for nobody. And I don't miss it. I do miss driving the trucks. That was really cool. Drove in the truck, they would give me a new truck every year. The last truck I had was a 1994 Kenworth T600 conventional with a nice sleeper on it. I always pulled 53-foot trailers. I ran dedicated runs from El Paso to Los Angeles and back twice a week. And then I used to drive from El Paso to Dallas, back to El Paso, and then from El Paso to Dallas all the way up to Chicago O'Hare Airport. 5,500 miles a week. 71 feet long, 53-foot trailer. Never had to touch the freight. That was the good thing about it. It was LTL, which is less than load. So I would always just drop and hook. But anyway, I'm not getting back to it again. I keep getting diverted. Sorry about that. Okay, so those people that rented this house from 2011 to 2024, that's 13 years. 13 years they paid me. And towards the end, not towards the end, but since Biden went in office, when Trump, in 2020, they were paying $1,200 a month. By the time they left, by the time Biden got in and everything started, with Biden inflation, I jacked up the rent on them all the way up to $1,800 a month. And now when somebody moves back in, it's going to be north of $2,000 a month. Which you're probably saying, oh, that's cheap. Yeah, but this is New Mexico. New Mexico is not Los Angeles. So anyway, they paid for this house more than twice over. Or pretty darn close. And that's why I'm not too upset. I mean, since they left, I had this. This is right here. This represents about $4,000 worth of stuff, improvements. I'll probably have to change the stove, probably the dishwasher too, since it was unplugged. I haven't even opened this thing. It doesn't look good in there either. But that stuff's cheap. I can get another stove on Craigslist for $200-300. That I'll just buy new for another $200-300, give or take. But yeah, people do not care about your property. They destroyed the screens. Of course, they didn't get their deposit back. I should probably convert this into another bedroom. That would give me 5 bedrooms. And it's a little bit on the small side. Probably be good for a baby room, though. Okay, another thing that happened. This house happens to have 2 furnaces. I didn't even know that, okay? So property management sent over a gas guy to start the furnaces. And he says, one of them's throwing he said, the furnace is throwing carbon monoxide, and sent my tenant a bill for $2,400 to do the job, to replace the furnace. So, of course, I wasn't going to pay that kind of money. So I went out and I bought this from Lowe's. I paid $800. Oh, here's a great tip for you guys. If you want to save yourself some money, pay close attention to what I'm going to tell you. If you're going to spend $1,000 or more, here's what you want to do. Go to YouTube. I'm sorry, AOL. What the hell am I saying? Go to eBay. Type in Lowe's coupons. Okay? And once you type in Lowe's coupons, look for the one that has the greatest amount of discount. Some of them will say, I think it's like most of the ones I've seen have been 10%. You spend $1,000, they'll give you 10% off, which is $100. So I bought this again from Lowe's for $800. And then I bought a few more things. I don't remember what I bought, but I spent probably about $1,200. I gave them my coupon, and they gave me 10% off the entire amount, even though it says in the coupon up to $1,000. So I saved myself $120. Oh, and the coupon only cost me $6.99. And the cool thing about it is it's actually a website, and I don't even buy from eBay anymore, those coupons. I buy directly from the seller. Unfortunately, my mind is drawing a blank right now. I cannot remember the name of that website. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I will put it in the below underneath this YouTube video, so you can go to that website and buy these coupons. And so I spent about $4,000 over at Lowe's. And how I did it was I bought 4 coupons, and they're one-time use. So that's why I bought 4 of them. And I went one day and I made delivered the stuff here. I went back the next day. I used another coupon, and basically I was spending $1,100 per day. And each day they gave me 10% off the entire purchase price, except for the last day. They said, "Oh, they finally caught on." So, "Oh, that's for 10% off $1,000." I didn't care. So, definitely a good tip. Lowe's coupon, 10% off. You cannot go wrong. So anyway, this video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to be cutting it short. But yeah, that's my experience though with tenants. They do not care about the house because it's not theirs. But if they are there long enough, it really doesn't matter unless they burn the house down. Well, even if they burn the house down, you're insured. So there is that. This house also had a lamp shade like the one in that bathroom, and when I bought it, so there was no way to change the light bulb. So I put that chandelier. So you can actually change the bulbs with a regular 8-foot step ladder. So anyway, guys, that's going to pretty much conclude this video for today. Just want to say thanks a lot for watching Rick Steele Customs. I know this is different. So if you guys like cars, if you like custom cars or doing stuff like this, let me know, man. Maybe I'll show you how I do the tile work. This is just a one-piece tile. I only had to buy 5 of them to do the entire kitchen. And it's pretty nice. I think it's pretty nice. And I'm going to butt them right up against each other, so pretty much it'll look like a one-piece countertop. Those are the 2 little windows that are going to go in each of the bathrooms. And these are the tiles that I bought for the bathrooms want to put either one in either bathroom. Anyway, that's definitely it. 30 minutes, long video. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up or thumbs down. If you don't like the video, in fact, if you don't like the video, hit the thumbs down twice, just to be sure. Anyway, thanks again, guys. I appreciate your time, patience, and your viewing. Have a great one. Rick Steele Customs, out.